supported by a large construction team and advisors. We are bringing in a lot of new talent in the field of construction, and going forward, you will be hearing from us our new estate in US pretty soon, maybe toward the end of first quarter. So we have big plans in the US. Uh, so I would request all the clients to take this opportunity before it runs out. So I would request Mr. Farooq to take in from here and explain us particularly more details about this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rana. Good evening, everyone. Good day, good morning for those joining us in the US. Good afternoon for those in the UK, and good evening for those in Nigeria. For those in Dubai, I want to welcome you to this webinar. So we held this webinar to introduce our clients and early investors to what are the spectacular offers and things that we have in our US property. Picking up what Mr. Rana just said, we just acquired about 40 acres in particular in Katy, Houston. And for us as a company, it's a testament to our global expansion. We pride ourselves as the biggest developer of green and smart homes, and it's marvelous that by the time we're done with this project, we'll be breaking all records. Right? In the US, we'll be recognized as the largest owners of green and smart homes. And for me and for the group, it's an exciting chapter for every one of us. And that's why we're having all year in this meeting, just to clarify and showcase what we have in store for us. But as a company, we've also had investment program in Nigeria and in Africa and beyond, and we've been doing successfully well, paying our returns frequently over the past few years. And I'd like Mr. Ikena to just talk a little bit, right? Give us a brief history of what we've been doing so far in our investments in Nigeria, so you can hear from him, and then I'll pick up from there. Mr. Ikena, how are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are watching us from over the world. Thank you. So my name is Ikenamba, the president of Gtext Investments, as well as the assistant CEO for Gtext Capital in the US. So the primary aim of this webinar is to bring to knowledge or limelight to our intending investors, our prospects, about the projects we have in the US. Trust me, this is the first and the best of its kind, right? And at the end of this webinar, trust me, you will have everything to thank the team for giving you this opportunity to invest with Gtext Holdings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ikena. So I'll be showing a brief presentation of what we've been doing so far and how we can be a part of this project, and we can proceed from there. All right, for those of you just joining us, can you just mention your name and where you're joining us from so we can understand who we are talking to? Can you just share your name and where you're joining us from? Great, I hope you all can see my screen. Right, so Gtext Homes is the biggest developer of green and smart homes, and our primary objective is to build innovative green and smart homes that encourage a lifestyle of wellness and luxury through the provision of facilities and infrastructure designed for your comfort and overall well-being. Our properties are all over the world. That's in Nigeria, Dubai, UK, US, and amongst others. And we also have several subsidiaries that provide affiliate and investment opportunities on a large scale. So our vision as a company, as a global brand, is to become the biggest developer of green and smart homes in the world. And how do we do it? Is by building green and smart homes using innovation and technology. And I and the rest of my team are building 25,000 green and smart homes by the year 2035. And we realize as a company that we cannot do it in Nigeria alone, and we cannot do it alone. And that's why our model is to expand as much as possible. And these estates, these homes are going to be in over 200 estates all over the world. And that's why we have Katy, Houston as one of our biggest projects that we're having the next few years. And for us, it's just a testament of how far and how well we are towards achieving our goals in the real estate sector. So our core values are integrity, excellence, innovation, and energy. And earlier today, we were on Arise Television, and they asked us a question like, as a young CEO, basically for me, right, how does it feel to spearhead this achievement. And basically what I explained to them is that the energetic workforce that we have and innovative mindset that we have in the company Gtext is enough to propel us forward. And using Dr. Stephen and Mr. Rana Ijaz, who have had wealth of knowledge in the real estate sector and financial experience as well, our journey and our building of homes has never been any much closer, right? So we're also in Nigeria, we're in Dubai, we're in UK, and US. And for Nigeria, we're located at Ivechuleki, which is one of our big developments here in Nigeria as well. And our management board is full of Dr. Stephen Akintaro, right? We also have Mr. Rana, and we have Mr. Bukola Lukan, who is also our Chief Operating Officer here in Gtext Homes. In many places. So we'll be going straight to our property here in Houston, and what is spectacular about this property? Why should anyone even invest in these properties? Before we begin, I just want to show you a little bit of what we've been doing. At first, we started by showing our clients when we went for our pre-launch offers, and we did an inspection of our property. And over here, you're seeing Dr. Stephen and an agent. That was before we purchased the property, on the inspection that was done on the property. And this is what the 40-acre property looks like. As you can see, there's a building here already, and it's a massive townhouse that's over here. And we also have a ranch already on that property. I hope you all can see me. Yes, there's a ranch already on that property, and it is massive greenery, right? The building is fully furnished and it's fantastic. Yeah, this is the land that we have. As you can see, there's some animals on it, which shows there's already a cattle ranch already on the property. These are more pictures about the property. And this is Dr. Stephen and the agents before we closed up the deal on this property. So for people that want to know what this property looks like, this is a physical and a live picture and videos of what this property looks like at the moment. This is the signing that took place earlier a few days ago, when Dr. Stephen Akta, the chairman of Gtext Holdings, signed the documents of the 40-acre property that we're talking about. And this for us as a company means we're here for business, for real serious business. I'm quite excited for this project. And we're here to show you all and encourage you all to be a part of this. Because if you're not part of this at this point in time, I don't think there's going to be a bigger opportunity to own a property in the US at this moment. And yes, so these are more pictures about what we did in the property. And this is the area view of what the whole property looks like. And it's surrounded by massive and wonderful business establishments. We have some parks, we have a leadership county, we have Harris County's office as well. We also have a high school around this place. There are massive developments located around this area at this moment. There's also a leadership academy in Harris County in this area as well. And this is the survey of what we have in the whole area. So this is the 40-acre property. And this is the best survey that we got from the developers. From the Harris County, Texas. And this is what the property looks like. And I just want to talk about what we're going to be building over here. As you can see, this is raw, and this is our own approved layout of what we have in this property. I'm going to zoom in a little so you all can see, and we can push forward. I'm sure you can see this. If you can see it, just type, I can see your screen, I can see your screen, please. Let me show you can see my screen. Okay, I can see it, right, fantastic. Okay, so what we have here is a 40-acre property, and this property is divided into about 4 different sections of the property, right? We have the commercial area, which is only restricted for those that are here for commercial reasons. For whoever is going to come into the commercial area, they won't have any access to the residential area of the estate. And over here, you can follow my arrow. This is the entrance of the estate. And this place is actually secluded only to the commercial areas. But of course, if you want to access the residential areas, you can access it if you're a resident of this estate. But every visitors of this estate only are limited to the access of the commercial areas. So what we have here is basically we have a mall, we have a golf range, we have a health center. We also have some commercial plots that are available here for other businesses that want to actually thrive within this community. And at the entrance of the estate, we also have a hub, and that's for the residents of this area that need to have a place to set up their own small businesses, right? So a hub whereby they can come, have meetings, work on their own, have their own basic time. We have a situation whereby people want to work from home but need to step out. And we're creating this community, we're creating an environment that encourages and inhabits everyone that wants to actually live in this estate. So different type of buildings that we have here is we have high-rise areas. This is the first section of the estate, full of high-rises and terraces. So high-rises basically means we're going close to 20 floors, right, from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 20 floors. So what we have here are high-rise units here. And over this area, we have terraces, right? So terraces can be as much as G+2 up to G+6 over here, right? And that's the first section. So people in the first section have a common play area for their kids so that we don't have to find a way to concentrate everyone to a single play area. Now what we're having is a luxury estate whereby people will have the ability to live, work, right, and for investment as well. And because we're building over 400 units of housing in this area, it's very important to make sure that people have the luxury of their time, their space, and enjoy the kind of environment that we are creating for them. And the second section of this estate is full of our duplexes the third section is full of our duplexes and townhouses, right? And these are for people that want to have a larger space for their housing. So for example, you can be on a 6,000 square feet, that's about 600 square meter, and have a building of about 200 square meter on it, right? We also have different available options for people to own about 1,200 square meter and have just about 200 square meter worth of building on top of it, right? Which means some people may have a large land space but have a small unit on it. So these are different opportunities that we have on this estate, right? And on this area, we have a lake, and it's a fantastic lake that we have over here. And around it, we have some lake houses. However, these premium plots are just reserved at the moment, right? We're not opening it up for the public yet because we're starting up with the townhouses, high rises, and all the terraces and the. And over here in the middle, we have our ranch, which is our ranch that we showed earlier in the presentation, right? Up here, we have some animals. We have a ranch. We have a building in the middle that's also going to be accessible for residents of the estate. And over here, closer to the lake houses, we also have another recreational park where we have tennis courts, basketball courts, relaxation pools, and so on and so forth. Right. So if you look at what we have here, we have over 214 residential plots and about 8 different commercial plots. And on those residential plots, of course, we have high-rise buildings that can take up to 50 units in some cases. In some cases, they can take as much as 10 units, 12 units to make up over 400 units over here in this building. And here we have the mall, right? Water reservoir, health center, security gates, sewage recycling system, right? Sorry about that. We also have a lake, recreational areas, golf range, walk-through aquarium, and a playground. So the aquarium is going to be here, as you can see here. And for every one of our estates, even when we started in Nigeria, we also put something that is monumental, something that people always look forward to. It's sort of stories attraction over here. And the innovation that we are bringing, one of them is to have a walk-through aquarium that is state-of-the-art. That will have a lot of people want to come and visit and look at it, right? And it's closer towards the lake area. And as you can see, there's another play area over here, which means the recreational activities in this estate is as wide as possible. Another thing we always try to do in each of our estates to ensure there are as many green areas as possible. As you can identify, the areas in green are identifying the green areas in this area. So this is a green area, this is a green area, green areas, green around the edges, green here, green here, green here, greenery here as well. And in between these estates, there are also dedicated green spaces to this place. So our model is designed at least 20 to 30% of the whole estate dedicated to green areas, so as to encourage the lifespan, air circulation, and fulfill our mission of building luxury, green, and smart homes. And by the way, each of the units here are fully smart units, and we are flexible to customize based on what people want to actually build on these estates. Right. So if you have any questions, you can keep in your questions, and we will call you for question and answer. This is what a golf range looks like. A golf range is not a full golf course. The difference is in a full golf course. A golf course, it can be 9 holes, can be 18 holes, but a golf range is a shooting range, whereby people will be able to shoot as far as 150. It's 150 meters, 150 meters forward, right? Or 200 in some cases. Right, and this is what a golf range looks like. Let me show you something else. Right, so this is what a golf range would look like. And we're going to have about 2 different layers of golf range. Right, yeah, go from the first floor or from the ground floor and shoot golf towards the front. So the idea is to create recreational activities for those that are living in the estate, and also for those that will be visiting the estate for recreational areas. So before I share some other information and a video from our chairman and a video representation of what we're having in the estate, if you have any questions, I'd like to take some questions now.
Thank you. I have a question. Can you hear me? Hi. So a couple of questions here. Thank you, by the way, for the presentation. So this is a 40-acre land. Can you help me understand at what point will this be divided into lots? And you did mention during your presentation that this is a multi-use. Oh, sorry, I was on mute for a second.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Blesses. You can turn on your video so we can see you as well.
Absolutely, I can do that. Can you see me now? All right, so my question goes about, this is a 40 acres of land, and at what point will this be divided into different lots? And secondly, this is a duplex unit. Is this going to be a single family unit built on that lot as well, or it's just approved for a duplex? I'll pause on that for now.
Okay, fantastic. Right. So currently this is the layout that we have for the estate, and it's already divided into lots. So the first phase is we've done the acquire, which is the first phase of the project. Second phase of the project is to divide it into actual lots. And for those that are interested in buying, which I was also going to go to after the full presentation, they will also be given some lots that they need for themselves. And for the duplex, we have some parts for single family homes, and we have some parts for shared spaces in terms of residential flats and apartments. So let me go back to the presentation and show you the area that for single family homes, which is for the townhouses as well. So the third area of the estate is the area that is dedicated for townhouses and single family homes. And this is this area, as you can see. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so this is the area that is dedicated for those, which is also we call it the third section of the estate. Remember, the first section is for the commercial, the second is for the high rises and terraces, while this is for the single unit family homes. And also we're also customizing based on what the clients want in terms of preference. So if you want to build, for example, a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, right, we can do that for you. We also go forward in how we can proceed on that, on how we can get those. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, you did. You did. Oh. I was trying to unmute myself. Sorry.
Yeah, fantastic. So does anyone have any other questions to ask before we proceed? Okay. I'm playing the video. I just need you to confirm you can hear this. Sorry. Thing. Okay. Can you hear this? So you can hear it. I'll talk to IT. Jamie, can you hear this? Can you play that video for me, please? People can hear that. Apologize for that. Jamie, can you play that video for me, please? Okay, thank you so much. Jamie, you play the next video after I talk about this. So that's a visual representation of what we are building over here at Jasper. And what we just showed you is what we are looking to have on that estate. And you can see, just like we discussed in the layouts, that's exactly what will be seen also in the estate. And you can see there's a recreational activities, there's a lake design, there's Dr. Steven also working through the property. And before we proceed further, Jamie, you can play the second video. Let's get a message from Dr. Steven, who was on the property a few days ago. IT, we're waiting for you. I'll wait for Jamie. Can you just type if you feel this is a good property? How many of you believe that this is a good property? Just type, I think it's a good property. Right, before we go to the offer today. If you believe that this is a good property, just type, let me get a feedback. If you believe it's not a good property, you can write that and you're free to do that. Any feedback? If you believe it's a good property, just type it's a good property. And if you feel it's not, just tell us it's not. So we know what we're going to do. Can see your responses.
Hey guys, today I took a walk to this pond. We're at this pond on the 40-acre property, Jasper Estate. So I'm thinking what to tell our construction team, whether we turn this to an artificial lake and then build some premium houses around it. Okay, because that will be very, very good. And we could empty some parts where we probably need to do drainage if needed. Could just empty themselves into this artificial lake, which I just wanted to see it and just view it myself. And so the thing with real estate is and that's why you have God being called Lord, and then the owners of land called landlord. Because as the Lord of a land, you are acting good, like God did when He created the universe. Let there be light, and there was light. Let there be firmament. Let there be leaves. Let there be this. So the same way, you buy a large piece of property. 40 acres is huge, and then you begin to say, okay, here I'll put a lake because already there is a pond here, and then I'll build some premium houses around it. Here I'll do a golf range. Here I'll do this, I'll put that. So you can see my thoughts going wild. But I love doing this, and I love the properties we own, whether in Africa or in the US. And it gives me opportunity to just think through some of the potential concepts within the estate. Okay, that's all I'll show you. Hey guys, how you doing today? So I'm here on Jasper Estate Katy. I'm just inspecting. There's a pond, and I'm trying to get the details so I can send to our construction team. I'm looking at us creating an artificial lake since there's water body already, so just leveraging on that, and then have some premium single family home, 5-bedroom duplex that kind of face the waterfront. But again, on Saturday, 2nd of December, we'll have the opportunity to come inspect this amazing 40-acre property. A lot of infrastructure on it. The one there, this one, we're trying to convert the 5-bedroom to our office so that we can be operating from here throughout the entire period of getting permits, to getting the project going and doing all the buildings. Our vision is to build the largest green and smart home in America here on this property. Yeah, it will take us 5 to 10 years to achieve it, but doable, and that's why we're here. Okay, and if anybody can do it, it's Gtext. Okay, we're very ambitious, and God is on our side. So see you guys 10 a.m. on Saturday, December 2nd. Okay, so this is the property on it. Beautiful, massive building on the 40 acres. So we'll be able to serve as an office. Maybe a few team members want to live there. We'll tell you more when you come on Saturday. Love you guys.
Okay, so the unique opportunity that we have for those that did not really hear is that tomorrow we'll be having an open house event. That's about 10 a.m. That's US time. And for those of you in the US that want to see this property for yourself, you have opportunity to join Dr. Steven and the rest of others to join this and inspect this property tomorrow. It's something we always do is to also show those that need to see it. And for all of you in this webinar, you're having a first viewing, we like call it opportunity on this property. We always call it first time offer before it's officially on the market. So you have a unique opportunity to get in there and get the very first slots that we have. And for those that are available in the US, you can actually join the open house event tomorrow for that. So how many of you want to invest in this property? If you think it's a good property to invest in, can you just type? Some of you are dropping messages, but unfortunately you are sending to my DM. So you have to select on the Zoom and click on everyone connected so others can see you, right? Because most of your messages are coming directly to my DM. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so I would like Mr. Rana to talk a bit on our Gtext Capital. The good news is that we are now a registered capital investment company in the US. We are now SEC approved, right? Which means that we are able to take capital investments all over the world into the US, especially for this property. And I like Mr. Rana Jazz, who is the CEO of the capital company, it's in Gtext Capital, and also Group CEO of Gtext Homes. So talk a little bit of what we have over there, our Gtext Capital.
Thank you so much, Mr. Farouk, for the wonderful presentation. And I think the most of the participants would understand what the project looked like. And eventually, I think it's going to be sold fast. Guys, whoever is interested, it's a time to act. Now, going back to we within Nigeria, from last 3 years, we are running a model. We have a registered company called Gtext Capital, which is basically a regulated firm where we accept the public funding for tenure 3, 5, up to 10 years with the fixed returns, annual returns, which are very attractive. We are running both schemes, both in Naira and dollars. And we just registered as Gtext Capital LLC in the United States. We are already SEC approved funding platform, where we have opportunity, people could come and invest with us, and the money would be utilized toward the construction of the project. I would like to offer this unique opportunity to our valued clients in the US. And it's a fully secure, regulated structure. And interest rates, if you compare to the banking and commercial markets, are far better. So, and we are someone enjoy the trust of the clients globally. We have a lot of clients. We are not specific to Nigeria. We have clients all over the globe who have regularly invested with us and got their returns. Last week I received the award for the most outstanding Nigerian cooperative company by the legislate, which is a big honor for us for the Gtext Capital platform. And I think we carry the same momentum in the US market. Just an opportunity, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much, Mr. Farouk. I hand over to you for the next step. Maybe our chairman would like to come up on this.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rana. I, for one, I'm really, really excited about this, right? Because getting funds financially from the US is actually a good step towards global expansion, especially for our US property. And having a licensed company, right, it just puts a testament in how fast we are in our expansion and how serious we are, right? So up next, I'll be calling the chairman, divisional of Gtext Holdings, Dr. Steven Akintayo, who is the brain behind this whole project, and to whom we all owe this great innovation to, right, to give us more insights and give us his own address. So welcome, Dr. Stephen McIntyre. You can have it now, sir. Okay, I think we lost him for a bit. Okay, sir, are you here?
Can we hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I want to welcome every one of you who are able to make it for this virtual unveiling of Jasper Estate in Katy, Houston. We just felt we should do a virtual opportunity for some of you to get to know what we're doing, what the vision is. Everything starts with a vision. Everything starts with a vision. It begins with an idea. The whole world started as an idea, and there is the power of an idea. I remember hearing the story of Disney. Disney started Disney, I think, in California, and then there was an expanded phase of that in Florida. And he wasn't alive by the time it was completed. And one of his friends was saying, "Oh, I wish Walt Disney was alive to see this." And the wife stood up and said, "No, he was the first to see it. We are just seeing it after he has seen it. We're just seeing what he saw." And, of course, raising the capital for Disney World was a lot. In fact, I was told of stories of one of his friends I told, "Oh, you are into hotel business, let's partner. You can start building big hotels around this, bush." Some of his friends took him serious. Some regretted later because the whole idea eventually worked. But it was such a thick forest. And then somebody is telling you the whole world will be coming to that location. It sounds insane. But, I remember the last time I went to Disney World with my kids, I was shaking my head when I went to the African village part of it, that this is not a good port. This is not how they should have portrayed Africa. But guess what? Even Africans are still coming to Florida to still go and see the whole creation of Africa. So ideas rule the world. And every great thing starts with an idea. And you have a choice whether you jump into the idea, you believe in it, and of course, years later, you are grateful, or you have a choice to say, "This won't work. I don't believe in it." Look at companies like JP Morgan, companies like Shell, Chevron, years when John D. Rockefeller started, Standard Oil, that later was broken down to Shell, Chevron, ExxonMobil. Imagine the shareholders. Imagine some people believe it was a hoax idea. There was no sense to it. Imagine when Tesla started, Elon Musk, the whole SpaceX, we're going to be the first to create an an aircraft, a spacecraft that will be able to return back to the world and land properly. Something NASA couldn't do, and then you felt you could do it. Imagine some people say you're nuts. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people come to invest in America. Because America, by design, has structured herself in such a way that it gives you opportunity to come and spread your wings and take risk and come up with your ideas, and let's see how it goes. And that's why you see a lot of innovation thrive in this part of the world than in other parts of the world, because in other parts of the world, everybody will have concluded that, oh, it's a hoax idea, it can't work, we don't believe in it, and the environment wouldn't even support it. So let me break down what exactly is the offer today. Okay, there are two major offers. One is ready, you can key in now. The other is not ready. The 40-acre right now, we're in a phase of internal structuring of how it will look. So some of the presentation Mr. Farouk has done were our own designs and concept. We'll go through another 6 months of getting approval by the city, okay, to be able to do all of those things. So in the next 6 months, we'll be in an approval phase. We'll submit all our drawings, all our designs, to the city, Harris County, and then work through them giving us approval to then go into the building phase. Once we're done with that, between January and June, we move to the next phase, which is the building phase, where the first set of houses will be completed in 18 months, right? The goal is to pick it up, 50 units at a time. We're starting with the 3, 4, and 5 bedroom single family homes, what we call duplex back in Africa. And later on, we'll unveil the apartments, we'll unveil, so it's a phase thing. We're not rushing at all. Now, for people who want to buy into the housing, what we then have decided to do is to say, okay, since we have a 6 months where we're getting engineers, all the preliminary processes and approval processes, we'll give you that 6 months to deposit your 30% on the house. Next week, the flyer will come out as to the price point, whether for 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, and 6 bedroom, right? And so we'll give you 6 months to deposit 30%. We have gotten a company who will give you the remaining 70% as a construction loan, okay, for the first 18 months. And then once the house is delivered, you can then convert the construction loan into a 25 to 30-year mortgage that gives you opportunity to pay over time. So you have a 2-year period for us to give you the keys to your house. Now, the question is, why do I want to buy a new house? There are a lot of houses in America. Yes, they are, but they are aging, right? But some of the houses you're buying are 10 years in already, 20 years in already, 30 years in already, which is part of the reason why sometimes the capital appreciation on those houses are limited, right? Because when appraiser comes, they have to appraise the fact that, hey, this house is old, right? So we cannot give it some, high appraisal. But when a whole brand new house is built, their capital appreciation year in, year out, practically every year you can appraise it and you are having capital appreciation. Another beautiful thing about this is that next year, just beside this property is a high school that will be opening. Massive. I mean, the size is almost like the universities that we have back in Africa. Massive school. And if you check Katy, Katy is the #1 school district in the whole of Houston, right? In terms of quality of school. So you have just even that high school opening next year, the valuation, the capital appreciation should move between another 10 to 25%. Okay, just for those literally by keying in right now, whatever you key into, we will need to increase the value of whatever we're selling there. Once that school opens by another between 10 to 25% because of just that school alone. So here are the amazing opportunity that you are getting being the first person keying into the housing. So that will be announced next week, and you get what we just need you to do is to check your email and make sure you drop your phone number, and the sales team will contact you and give you all the details on their housing. Now, the other offer we have for you today is that of Gtext Capital, where we're getting a team of 100 to 150 investors who will help work together to raise about $10 million. Now, the $10 million, of course, is needed for, the whole process of getting approval is also expensive. Okay, as you know, in America, there's no free labor. You can't call your cousin, uncle, in-law and say, about me stamp, design here and all of that. So for us is that even though we have a whole construction team in Nigeria, their stamp is not going to work in the US. So we're having to pay new set of consultants, new set of engineers, new set of, is a whole gamut of structure. And then, of course, we have to also provide infrastructure. So it's not just the house you have to build. When you have a large expanse of land, as much as 40 acres, the house is just a fraction of what you need to do. internal roads has to be done. Grid has to be done. Internet has to be done. Sewage, waste processes, drainage, all of that, right, is another entire process altogether. So we're raising about $10 million to begin to achieve all of this work. And we're giving a return on investment ranging from between 8% to 11%. Now, we have a category, that's if the minimum you can invest is $50,000. And so 50, 100, 250. But for those who are doing $1 million and above, we're willing to go as high as between 12% and 14%. You know that's way higher than what you get with, say, Michelin, more than what you get with even your fixed savings or any other investment in America. Typical ROI, you're looking at between 5 to 7%. That's it. So this is a bit higher per annum. And the good news is that you're also part of a big move, a big cause. We're the first to attempt this. By any, by any standards, that a singular company will pick up a big project like this, green and smart home. We're the first to try that scale. There is no single location in America where you have 400 to 500 houses and they're all green and smart. There's none. And they were all developed by one developer in one location. We don't have any at the moment. So when this is completed, it will be the first of its kind. Now, let's even remove green and smart home. Of this size, 400 to 500 housing units designed by one company that is, the ownership is Nigerian. Okay, there's none of such anywhere. And for us, we believe this goes a long way in helping even to change the perspective and perception of Nigerians from always seeing us as scammers, hush puppy, and all of this stuff we've been associated with. When we start doing projects like this, there is respect for our intellect, our capacity as a people, our ability to organize ourselves and do great things. I'm hoping that this time around, Nigerians will come together with us to make this dream a reality and not be the tool that will bring us down. We practice a lot of crap projects. I call it crap project, but we practice what I call crap mentality as Africans. I think it started from the colonial masters and how they've just put in our mind that you should just not, a slave, if one other slave is rising, the remaining slaves have to pull down that slave, because the mindset is that we're all slaves and none of us should ever rise to the top. And the rise of one slave is the reason why other slaves are not going to rise. That was the mentality put to us by colonial masters. And until we start changing that, until we start organizing ourselves, I always ask people, I said, look at what the Chinese are doing in America. The Katy school, I remember my sister here literally said she's not putting her children to Katy. I remember I told you that it is the first school district. And she was saying she spoke to another Nigerian friend who said her children were the best where they were coming from. Were online to get scholarship. They moved them to Katy, and the Chinese children are just beating them black and blue. And all the scholarship went to the Chinese guys. Okay. And they lost. And they will have, and the ones who were taking lower positions were the ones who eventually got the scholarship in the other county. Right? But my point is, see how the Chinese come together, how they organize themselves. When they come to a neighborhood, they take over asset, investment, all of it. See the Indians, right? Why have we not been able to do that as Africans? When one of us is rising, the remaining Africans want to spread bad news, and the rest of us are willing to listen to the bad news. The question is, haven't business gone bad in the Indian community? Has Indians not given money to somebody in their community and the business failed? How many times have you seen them go on social media and drag each other? Okay? Has the Jews not giving money to a Jewish somebody in their community and the business failed. How many times have you seen Jews go on social media and mention one of their guys that they invested in and the business failed? The same thing with the Pakistani, same thing with the Indian, same thing with the Chinese. Why must we be the ones who always come together and we must be willing to say, no, we know that guy is not legit? And it's a culture that now it's a different if 1 or 2% does it. The fact that the rest of us now get happy about it, rally around it, okay, really, really, worries me big time. And honestly, it's unfortunate because what we should rather be doing is say no. When one of us go down, the rest of us go down. When one of us name goes down, the rest of us go down. When one of us name rise up, it has changed the perspective of the world about us, that one of us can build something great. One of us can do something great. People didn't know why it was important for me to move to Dubai. It was that when I saw what Hush Puppy had done to the image of Nigerians in UAE, and some of you are wondering why eventually Nigerians were banned from going to Dubai. There was a psychological effect to anybody else in UAE when you see a Nigerian. One of the first things that comes to your mind is Hush Puppy, scammer, Yahoo Yahoo, and you're wondering, are you another one of them? So going to the UAE and being visible as a real estate guy was important for me in changing the perspective of people about Nigerians, right? Living in Burj Khalifa, doing it at the highest level was important for me in just changing the mindset of the rest of the world about how they see us, right? And I'm hoping this is another step in that direction here in America, that we will change the perspective of people to say, our engineers are good, our architects are also good, right? Yes, at the moment, the whole team may have to still be vetted and stamped by, the engineers and all of these people based here in America. But over time, we're building that entire skill set. We're building that entire community. We're empowering that entire, and we're changing the perspective that if you see a Nigerian, you're seeing a forward-thinking person, you're seeing a business mogul, you're seeing an entrepreneur, you're seeing somebody who is ready to build the economy wherever he finds himself, even if he's an immigrant. And I think that's what this is about. We've started it in Afrobeat. It's not coincidence. Nigeria is rising across all sectors. We're rising. And I think it's prophetic. I think there's a dimension to it, right? And we need to learn to read the season and key into the season. There's something unusual about Nigeria globally. We're rising. As much as some people are trying to pull us down with crime, we're rising with Afrobeat. We're rising with our movies, right? And the next frontier is that we need to rise as entrepreneurs. We need to begin to have more Nigerian-owned businesses expand across the world, and we're, funny enough, we're becoming a large market across the world, because when you look at the immigration, how many of us are immigrating from Nigeria, we're becoming a major market in different countries that we're moving to. So that we don't become a nuisance, it's important that we also become business giants as we move, so that we're respected and we're not seen as people who have come to take the jobs, from the people originally in those countries that we're moving to, but rather as people who are also creating jobs in those economies. I want to thank all of you who took out time to come for today's presentation. Now, Mr. Farouk has posted the link. I wish the link can be shorter, but he just posted the link, which is gvesglobal.com/gves-capital. Why dash? Why not just GVES Capital? Right? So the IT team, I always told you, I love a simple URL. For example, I'll prefer GVESglobal/GC, or GVESglobal/USA, or GVESglobal/Jasper Houston. Something simple, one word, easy to remember. But at this moment, again, what we have is www.gvesglobal.com/GVES-capital. Okay, that's the URL. You can go there. Now, the KYC is very strong. And the reason is because we are US SEC regulated. Okay, so you'll be wondering, they're asking for information. A lot of information are being asked, but it is actually what the institution requires here, because it is SEC regulated here in America. So you cannot, if you don't have all this KYC, you will be seen as doing money laundering. And none of you want to see our pictures in the news, okay, as a company doing money laundering, right? So the law requires that we take all this information, and the information goes straight to the SEC. They want to know those who are investing. They want to know the source of the funds of those who are investing. And it's just the way it works. However, for those of you who are not in the US and you are investing, okay, your own KYC is still done, but it is not as what's it called? It's not as strict. For example, one of the KYC that must be done is that you must show us a vetting that you are an accredited investor. That's if you are. This is only for those who are American citizens, right? You have to prove that you are an accredited investor. So what we've done is we've put a link where you can go and vet yourself, whether you're an accredited investor or not. So we can't just take your money. You have to fill these forms. If you're a US citizen, you have to vet that you're an accredited investor before you can then invest, whether it's $50,000, $100,000, or $200,000 or $1 million, whatever you want to invest with us. However, if you're a non-US citizen, you won't need to do vetting. So in the KYC to show, what country are you? And so if you are not a US citizen, you can just go ahead. You don't need to upload the proof that you have been vetted to be an accredited investor. So once you fill the KYC, you just can make your payment. It's as simple as that. I want to once again thank you for being part of this. God bless you real good. Of course, myself, Farouk, Mr. Rana, we're here to take your questions if you still have questions for us. Thank you. And this is a great day. I'm so excited about it. And don't forget, tomorrow, if you're in Houston or you know somebody in Houston, please reach out to us. The number, they need to just send their full name, email, and phone number to 443 790 3925. Okay, that's so that they can then get the address of the place. It's 10 a.m. tomorrow prompt. There's no African time, and we will be live on the property and discuss more and explain more about what we're doing, what the processes are, and what needs to be done. Okay, love you all, and thank you so much for being part of this.
Thanks so much, Dr. Steven, for your time, sir. So if you have any questions, you can ask now. We're ready to take some of your questions as we wrap up. Any questions, you can raise up your hand, please. We're ready to take your questions. Okay, for those that want to pre-order for our housing unit and you want to register, so by the time we get first offerings, you get first offer on it, you can go to gtexthomes.com /Jasper Houston, and you can fill out a form and fill the questionnaire that we ask, and we get back to you when that offer is up. So I've written it for you again, gtexthomes.com /Jasper Houston. Right. And for those of you interested in investments offer now, you can go to www.gvestglobal.com /GVest/capital. Right. So do you have any questions? No. So Mr. Rana, can you give us your closing remarks as we close? You're muted, sir. . . 。  . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Farooq. And I think our chairman has said it all. The vision, I think he has been very honest. And, typically, whenever such a project on such big scale, a lot of skepticism in the minds of the investors. I think he's been very candid, and this is what he has lived his life all over. Uh, so this is something on the ground. We are realistic about our vision and about our milestones. We are seeking the real serious investors. And one thing I want to make sure, as Chairman mentioned, GS Capital is a SEC approved fund, and there are proper KYCs and stringent policies we have to comply with. So, so all the US citizens or investors, they have to be accredited investors, and there's a proper KYC form that need to be filled. And the people who are not, unfortunately, accredited in the US, there's a process that can be discussed separately. Uh, and eventually, I think in the coming days, will be coming more for the offers for the pre-booking. Maybe Mr. Farooq would think something we should be more attractive to the clients who would like to pre-book the houses right now. Because that is something that would really portray their trust in us today, so they get benefit tomorrow within the 6 months when the things are on ground, things are layouts are approved. So people from that day, there will be capital appreciation on the properties. I'm sure for that. So I think the team need to work on that area. And for the investor on the GS Capital US, we are open. I think interest rates are not comparable to the market, 8 to 11%, and minimum ticket is 50,000 US dollar, and we are open to any amounts up to $1 million. In even the high tickets can be discussed. So it's all secured, and we this is something we have done successfully in the past, and we look forward for all our valued clients. I would like to thank you all who took time out to attend this webinar. And I would encourage all, whoever in that vicinity, please visit tomorrow 10 a.m. shop, December 2nd. So you can learn more about the project, and you can meet the chairman, Dr. Stephen, who has built this empire. And I'm sure in the next 6 months, I'll be personally there. We will be discussing our next project, because funding structures are available with the institutions, and we're very confident what we are believing. We are doing this project with the proper risk management policies. We know what we are doing. We are ambitious, but still we are realistic, and we know what we are doing. So this is what I would tell all our valued clients. Thank you so much for Mr. Farooq. So this is all from my side.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rana. Thank you, everyone. And it's also important to note that for people in Nigeria that want to buy into this US property, also remember that you're going to be making your money in dollars, and understanding how deflation is high in Nigeria, the currency devaluation, earning your returns in dollars gives you an extra edge, right? Imagine you're earning as little as 7 to 14% is enough. You convert it over to Naira in a long period of time. You must have made more than you actually make if you make your investment in Naira. So these are opportunities we are giving to Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians in diaspora, and for those that are actually in the US. So this is an excellent opportunity to take advantage of this offer. And we look forward to partnering together and achieving greater heights, and helping us to, thank you so much for helping us achieve our vision of building 25,000 green and smart homes between now and 2035. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Mr. Ikena. I've dropped the phone number as well. The phone number is +234 701 7699, or +234 90111 74994. If you need any clarification on how to fill the KYC for the investment program. Thank you so much for joining us. We have another webinar next week, which is on December 8th. We'll also be unveiling latest updates based on the new open house that we've had, our approvals, and so on and so forth. And of course, you're welcome to join that webinar as well. With this, we've come to the end of this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.